What's up, everybody? So, um, I just wanted to say that I don't really plan what I'm going to do here. Um, I did meditate before I came on, and what was coming through for me was to speak about surrender and forgiveness and the releasing of time as far as when things are going to happen. So, I know for me, um, and at first, I want to apologize to everybody who was on last time because I tried to watch or look for all the comments afterwards, and there was nothing there. So this time I will make sure that I read the comments before I sign off. But anyway, um, just in the whole letting go process for me is like first I know that I had to become aware that I even had a problem to begin with, or there was something that I needed to let go of in the first place. It's like it came with awareness, because until I have had the awareness of something, hi, everybody, it's coming in. Before I could change anything, I need to recognize that there was something that I needed to change. Okay. And I've always been taught that awareness is the first step in change. So that's where it all started for me. As far as forgiveness and the releasing of the letting go of, I'm just being moved to talk about this whole. Honestly, I'm just gonna just come right out with it. It's with this whole twin flame connection, the dynamic, and because I do have a lot of twin flames that follow me, and most of my readings are in regards to those twin flame connections and deep soulmate connections. And I know for me, I've learned a lot on my own journey. Okay. And that's where I'm at now. It's like where I've just been able to surrender to the when, and the if. It's like in this place of peacefully detaching from my divine masculine, just and only wanting happiness for him and wherever he may find that. And whether or not that even matters if that's with me. I know that it's taken a lot of soul searching to even get to that place. Hi, you guys. Stella, Irene, Esoteric Art, Jack, and B Hubby. Hey, thank you guys for being here. And I don't know if you guys heard me before, but the last time I lost all the the questions, so I didn't get to respond to anything. So this time I'll definitely make sure that I read them. But right now is such a crazy time, and I've noticed it in with my personal readings. There's just this haziness, and there's a lot of connections that I read for. They're not talking, and if there is some communication, it's very little communication. And that can be really hard, when you're feeling so much, when you feel so much emotion towards someone, and then to be able to feel them so much energetically as well. I don't know what your connections are like with your divine masculine, but I know that the people that I read for, and as well as myself, we all have. So I'm assuming that everybody that watches my channel is like that as well. There are times when I can like literally feel my masculine like right behind me, and like his whole presence next to me. And it's really hard to move forward when those kinds of things are happening. And I know that for me in my journey, I've had to, and for my own sanity, I needed to detach, from my divine masculine so that he could, um, learn for himself. I don't want to be a crutch for my divine masculine, and I don't want to stick around somewhere because it's like I don't hold any kind of resentment or anger towards my divine masculine anymore, and I don't know that I've ever even really truly been angry at him. I've always kind of known that he just was where he was. Um, and but you know to not have to wait for I don't know what I'm being moved to talk about is that time to let go of the time, because I know that the waiting, um, there's a lot of frustration, with some of you, and I see it in the comments, and I also get emails from you. You guys like send me emails, and um, I want you to know that for me, this is what I do, and this is what I'm being moved to talk to you about. It's like you don't have to wait. You know, I am enjoying my life. Like I have my connection with myself and my love for myself is deeper than it's ever been in my whole entire life. And it's taken me a long time to get there, but and I'm not even going to tell you, in the beginning I had those days where I would cry and be stuck in bed, and I would do things that were self-sabotaging to myself, in regards to just because I was feeling so much heartache. And I used to take um, my divine masculines, what I took as rejection or um, personally, and really it never had anything to do with me. It had everything to do with where my divine masculine was, and just in his life, in that stage of his life. And he was just we're everybody's on their own separate journey. There is no time limit or race to the end. At least I don't feel that way. you know and I know that for me, it took everything that it took. The last time that I spoke with my divine masculine, it was I had to walk away, and for my own self-respect, and let him go. um I don't really talk too much about my own personal journey as far as my divine masculine is concerned, because even early on in my when I first got awakened to this path 6 years ago, I was influenced by a lot of people that just that the spiritual world war that's going on is very real, and there are people that don't want people to get ahead and don't want twin flames to get together. The love, the true love. There's always going to be those blocks, like stopping you from doing what's truly in your heart. And it hasn't been easy to continue to keep moving forward and continuing to believe, because it's easy. It's easy to want to throw in the towel. It's easy to say, it's easy to say that, I can't even say it's easy to, because it's like everything that has happened to me, in the last 6 years and along this journey and learning about myself, it's like it's been so mind blowing. And if it didn't happen to me, I wouldn't even believe that it was true. But it's like it doesn't just happen to me. I hear from all of you that write into me and tell me your stories. I mean, we all have these magical stories, and to tell and to share. I It's really it's so beautiful. And the more that I've been along this path, like the more that I realize, it's like you go deeper and deeper into um, what life can really be. I have really been putting myself out there, and I just know that that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to share my story, and share and be here and be that channel and do the readings for you guys, so you can see what's going on and how to move forward in your own journey, um and share my experience that way. I'm a little bit nervous. I don't feel like I should plan these things, because I don't want to ever come out and sound like I think I know something more than you guys do or whatever. I just know that I'm supposed to share my experience. And you know, I don't know, standing here now, I haven't been in contact with my divine masculine in a really long time, and but I feel him around all the time. And normally when that happens, I reach out to him, and I haven't been doing that because it's just I don't feel like that's what I'm supposed to do, and maybe that'll change, but for now, it just is what it is. And like I said, I want my divine masculine to come to me because he wants me, and I don't want to. He needs to understand it, and he's either going to get it or he's not, and I'm not going to hold back my life because of it, but and that's another level of understanding of my journey that I had to get to as well, because I was thinking that it only had to end that way with me and him, and I was thinking that when I first started this journey, and my divine masculine passed away, and that just like totally threw me off. So the only thing that I know is that everything changes, and that's why I always say like this journey can really be whatever you want it to be, and whatever you believe it to be. Um, I know that I've continued to grow, and I'm so much more of a woman than when I started. And hi, Margaret. And and that's what I focus on, that part, because I don't know that I would have ever changed had I not met, the man that, he's the reason why there's that S on that romance card that I have. He passed away and the soulmate card disappeared from my deck, but that deck happened to come with two stay optimistic about your love life cards. And you know, I know he sparked a change in me. Like I wanted to be a better woman, back in those days, like, I had like it wasn't unusual for me to have like 10 to 20 men on my phone that I would be texting and talking to. I wouldn't really go out with any of them, but I was trying to fill this emptiness inside of me that I would get some sort of ego trip, I guess, from their attention, and I stopped all that. I really moved away from all that kind of behavior, and that's what this journey has done for me, is really gotten me to be, a woman of integrity. And it's like somehow I've like learned to just not focus so much on the outcome, you know and that hasn't really been easy, especially because I can be such a control freak. I want it the way that I want it. But the bottom line is that whenever I say my set my intentions on whatever, I always close with, if it's for the highest good of all, because when it all boils down to it, that's all I want. I want to be happy, and I want my divine masculine to be happy too. And it's I don't even honestly believe that I've ever like that I've gotten there, because I used to think that I would just that I couldn't live without him. And the fact that I found out that I could, it's like it's really shows how much I've grown, and yeah, it's really mind blowing. I remember when I was my my first, like, well, it wasn't really my first boyfriend, but I dated a man, when I was younger, and I dated him for a while, and then it ended pretty roughly. He had went out of town and met somebody else, and then we continued dating for a whole year, and then one day he was like, "Oh, she's coming tomorrow," and I was like, "Who is coming tomorrow?" And he's like, "I told you, the girl I met in wherever," and I was just like, "You still talk to her?" Like I had no idea. And anyway, yeah, like they even like got married on my birthday and everything, and I let that that situation blocked me from loving, and like it made me bitter. Like I really shut down, and today I don't do things like that. I'm so open for love and just want to be happy, and it has nothing to do with having anybody next to me or not, like, which is just mind blowing to me, because I just always used to have to have someone there, whether they love me or not. I just wanted, I remember different times in my life having, one man who was, let's say, my boyfriend, or the main person I was talking to. Um, Maybe he would sell me out, or maybe we'd get in an argument or whatever. Well, there was always, then I would just call somebody else that, so I could like talk to them, and I would get like a fix, and I'd be like, okay, I still got it. It was always this attention seeking, and to be at this place in my life where I don't need to do that, and I don't have, um, not one single man like on my phone that I'm calling or talking to. And um, I've just reached a level of respect for myself that I didn't even know existed, because it wasn't even in my consciousness for such a long time, and this journey has just helped me grow so much. And that's the part that I would like to really encourage everybody else to really focus on, as well, as to really focus on how much you've grown. I always say that, like, better not bitter, and that's really how I feel. We could all sit here and exchange war stories as far as our relationships go. And I know I got a ton of them, and I write a lot of songs about them and poetry, and I don't post them all, but I post a lot of them on my Instagram. And they're sad, man. But that's how I had to let it all go, but I I wrote something earlier, and it's like something about, life is a journey where we're learning. And it's like every now and then along the way, you meet people that will love you where you're at. But most of the time, we're not going to meet people that are even understand how to love us where we're at, So it's like we have to, like, make sure, um, be discerning towards who we let into our lives, because it can mean the difference between living the life we choose to live versus living a life of making other people happy, and that's somewhere where I was stuck for a really long time, trying to impress other people. And I didn't even know that I was really doing that, because I always thought I was like, I just didn't think that I ever needed somebody until I realized I was really needy, which was very, um, just, I think that anytime I get knocked off my pedestal, it's a good thing. Where my ego gets smashed, it's definitely a really good thing. And I didn't even think that I had a big ego, but the more that I I live and learn about myself, the more that I realize that I just don't know. And there's so much more to my healing I have left to do. But I'm very grateful for the awarenesses that I've had up until this point, and the freedom that's come with, I don't know, I'm hearing the word bondage, feeling just totally in bondage towards people, places, and things, just truly letting my heart heal. Let me see what I want to say. I'm just reading. I love you guys. I'm gonna just like keep sharing. I want you guys to also share with me, what you would like me to share as far as like my experience, like what you have questions on, so that we can really talk about it. Because I honestly believe with all my heart and soul that I am here, like, with you. Like, we're all in this together. We're all here to walk this path together. And I can't tell you enough how much having you all has helped me grow. It's like I feel like I owe you something, you know? Oh my God. I asked before I started to like, please help me not cry, but I'm crying. I'm emotional. You know, today I went years without crying, like as a child and as a teenager, and you know, now as an adult. And the more that I heal, the more that I that I that I cry. You know, it's not so important to um, seem like I'm hard or be unemotional. You know what I mean? So um, it's just really, I don't know. It's just really cool to feel a part of something because um, before I was on the twin flame journey, I always felt alone. And when I started hearing about what a twin flame was, and I knew that that was it. Like I just resonated so much with it. Um, no, I'm not a Cancer. I'm an Aries. I'm an Aries, but I'm an Aries with a my moon sign is Gemini, and then my rising sign is Pisces. So I have a lot of air in my chart actually. So air and fire. So, but yeah, I don't know what else to really share about now. It's like kind of like my so I'm feeling like that might be it for today, unless anybody wants to say anything. But I am gonna just keep doing this on Sundays at 5, and we're just gonna like keep it like really casual. And you know, if you guys want to send me emails or write it down in below in the comment section and just let me know what you want to talk about, like we can bring it up. And I'm just going to keep doing it, keeping it casual and just meditating before I go on and seeing where I'm supposed to go, you know, with the conversation and let it flow. Because like I said, I don't ever like to plan too many things. And I just want to keep it as real as possible and light, you know. And I feel like we're all in this together, and you guys are really my family, you know. So um, I don't know anyone in my circle that is on this twin flame journey. Yeah, that's exactly how I was, Jack. Exactly how I was. That's why I started the channel, and it's like I had to figure it all out for myself, you know. And then when I started talking to people about it. I was talking to the wrong people, and what I mean by the wrong people is, um, you know, because there's that's why I say practice discernment, okay, and trust your intuition when watching tarot card readers and who you listen to, because you know, just because somebody's doing tarot cards and whatever doesn't mean that they're actually practicing what they preach or whatever. And I'll just leave it at that, you know, because I don't like to, you guys can make your own judgment. That's why I don't usually recommend people, because, you know, I've followed and thought people were right. And then, you know, but that was part of my lesson and part of my journey. And, you know, so just trust yourselves, you know, nobody knows more than you what's best for you. And, so just remember that. And, you know, this is like I said, Jack, like this is exactly why I started this channel, because I didn't have anybody that was on this that I could talk to about it either. And I really felt crazy because there's so many wild things. I mean, when I first met my twin, the earth actually shook, you know. I mean, and I thought, I mean, I live in Florida, and I thought that we were having a tremor, you know, for like they do in California where there's earthquakes. And I remember leaning, because I was at work, and I remember leaning back on the desk like to hold it and looking around like, why isn't anything falling, and why isn't anybody else acting like there's a tremor happening? And that's because it was only happening, you know, with me and my twin when we met. So yeah, I do have children. Oh, and I have two children. I actually have four. Okay, I have two that live with me, my son and my daughter. I have another son that I um, You know, he was adopted. I had him when I was younger, and that was the best thing for me to do at the time in my life. And then my son recently found out he has a sister from his dad's side, and so now there's four. You know, so it's pretty awesome. But yeah, but yeah. So I don't know what else I was saying. Let's see, my daughter. That's when I feel like I started to reach out and found you. I'm glad that we found each other, Margaret. You know, I mean, this journey will make you feel like you're crazy, and it'll just, you know, going through the spiritual experiences that I have gone through, and you know, they call it like the dark night of the soul and all that kind of stuff. It's terrifying, especially when you don't know what's going on, and when you don't. I know that I wasn't raised in the way to. I always like, to be honest. Like when I was younger, I used to hate Sundays. Okay, because on Sunday we had to go to church, and on Sundays my mom would make me wear a dress, and but also on Sundays my whole family would like scream and yell, and we would all be crying, and they'd make us get in the car and drive to church, and we'd have to sit in the front row, and it was just a horrible day. And then my mom would make breakfast, and she would use every pot and pan in the kitchen, and then myself and my brothers would have to do all the dishes, and it was just the worst day. And I just remember always screaming and be like, God doesn't care what I wear to church or what we wear to church. And I always just I just never understood why we had to get dressed up, like he didn't care, you know. And I don't even know. Yeah, dark year of the soul, for real. It's like gone on for a few years, but you know, anyway, I just feel like I'm rambling now, you guys, and I just want to tell you that I love you, and make sure that you leave in the comments like something like that you want me to share about, so that way I can, um, you know, pick something for next week. But again, like I said, I'll just like keep meditating before, and just talk, and we'll just talk for a couple minutes and whatever. All right. But I'm going to keep doing this and just sharing my experience on just everything, you know, whatever comes up. Like I had no idea I was going to be talking about my twin flame journey. So, but that's what came out. So I love you guys. I'm thinking about even starting these lives, like doing my tarot cards, but we'll see how that goes. All right. I love you guys. I hope you have an amazing night, and I will see you next Sunday. All right. Bye, guys. Thanks, Margaret. Bye. I love you.